Alright, the math art challenge today is going to be sand piles, and here's the idea. Let's say we have this lovely grid, and this grid, each of these boxes can only handle 4 grains of sand. Now let's say I've spilled some sand on here, and this is what I ended up. Here I have 1 grain of sand, here's 2, here's 5, so that's too many, but this 3 is okay. What's going to happen is, say this 5 right here, which is too many grains of sand, we're going to end up taking a single grain of sand and it's going to go in all 4 directions. So now we're only going to have, in the center here, we're going to have just the 1 grain of sand. This is going to become a 2, this would be a 4, this is going to be a 3, and then there's going to be 1 over here. Now, you're going to decide later if you want to keep this one here, if you want to pretend like it disappears. For now, we're going to pretend it disappears. So here's our new sand grid. Okay, so you'll see like our 2 became a 2 and stuff. Now everything's stable here except this very center one, so I need to topple that. So my 4 here got spread out, and I have 0 left here, and here I have a totally stable sand grid. Now what's fun with this is that we could do some pretty strange adding. Like for example, I know there's been a lot of discussion recently about 2 plus 2 is equaling to 4. And if we did it in this case, you sure would 2 plus 2, you'd get a 4 over here. In fact, the whole thing would be 4s. But now we have a super unstable sand grid. So what's going to happen next is it's going to topple and topple and topple and until we get to our stable sand grid. And all of a sudden, you definitely do not have that 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. So that's kind of fun. But the other thing that we could do is we could put a whole bunch of grains of sand, like 20, in the center, and then see what happens when you topple and topple until you get a stable sand pile. And then what's fun is that you could color it. So if we make the 1's a single color and the 2's a separate color and the 0's a different color, you'll end up with these sweet patterns. So here's 20. And I'm fairly certain that this is 50. Like 85%. Anyways, see what you can come up with.